And joining us now to weigh in on this and more is Christopher Bedford, executive editor of the Common Sense Society. Chris, welcome back. Great to have you on again. A lot to get to, but first, try and help us unpack this. As Eric mentioned, Fulton County briefly posted a document listing charges against former President Trump. Then it removed it, and now apparently there are reports that the DA's office is saying there are no charges against Trump. This is all really confusing. What do you think is happening here, Chris?
Well, I think Donald Trump is, as he's facing across the country, he's against a pretty gun-ho prosecutor here, someone who really is ahead of their own ballgame as far as prosecuting the president. Now, these are charges, these kind of investigations that are already being brought to the president's attention at the federal level. Georgia's perfectly within their rights to follow these as well. That's what we're seeing. But the grand jury hasn't finished its deliberations yet. These things usually take 1 to 2 days. Some notable witnesses are on the docket scheduled for tomorrow. So I don't expect there to actually be any legitimate charges yet. But I think the DA got a little ahead of themselves. They've already got everything written up, expecting charges. Maybe they've got a couple reports, and that's what was leaked earlier or accidentally posted earlier.
Yeah, and if the former president is charged, which of course seems imminent, this would be his 4th indictment. How do you see this playing out, and what impact do you think this will have on his reelection bid? I mean, right now he is the clear front runner in the Republican Party, and he even made an appearance at the Iowa State Fair over the weekend.
I don't think it's going to impact his power with the Republican voters negatively at all. None of these things have. It's so clear at this point when we're seeing multiple investigations, the same charges repeated over and over again. The entire impeachment in general being relitigated, this time by the DOJ, opinions of the former president treated as crimes, that this is political. So the Democrats, on one hand, have been extremely frustrated. The historian Doris Kearns Goodwin was on MSNBC over the weekend lamenting, what's it going to take to make the Republicans get rid of Donald Trump? We have to mobilize the entire country. There's a real palpable frustration amongst Democrats that this is backfiring. And even amongst independents and Republicans in particular, of course, Republicans, there's a lot of people who say, well, maybe Donald Trump is guilty of some of these things, but still, these obviously seem like political attacks against him. His enemies have run against taking him down, and now they're going to do it. Whether or not this impacts the general election is still something that's going to be interesting, because it does create a sense that there's a lot of smoke there for independent voters who may be less likely to vote for a return of President Trump.
Oh, Chris, thanks so much for weighing in and for your insights. Always appreciate it.